Hi there, welcome again to Dear Anybody, a collection of letters written by my late father Jimmy Hodge, who was a journalist in the Medway area of Kent. I'm his son Kevin. Jimmy passed away 2 or 3 years ago, but back in 1999 he wrote a year's worth of letters to himself, a bit in the vein of Letters from America, Alistair Cook if you recall. So Dad scanned the news and read the papers every day for a year, just to mark the sort of entry into the millennium. Anyway, today, and apologies again for the sort of iPhone and slightly jerky iPhone. As I said yesterday, I've come out of hospital recently and I've had to rejig my office arrangements, so I'm doing it via iPad rather than the PC, if that's okay. Anyway, I hope it's all right. Today is the 19th of February 1999. If you recall, Dad talked about camels and one that was found in the back of a van, and he's got a thing about camels. Anyway, it turns out that back in 1916, a captain of a U-boat was presented by some king of Liberty, Captain, who is it? So I'll get the right spelling here. Captain Kukat, skipper of the First World War German U-boat UB-50, was presented with 2 camels in Libya in 1916, and he loaded them in the vessel via some peculiar route, and Jimmy was musing on how the heck you managed to get 2 camels way across the Pacific or wherever it was. Couldn't quite work out how he'd possibly do that. So that was a little bit odd, but the actual U-boat was sunk by the Royal Navy before the end of the war. And he sort of thought that was a bit odd. Home Secretary in 1999 was Jack Straw, and he was coming a bit under fire for extolling the virtues of the average Joe, getting involved in, I suppose, unsocial behaviour. So in other words, stepping in where others fear to tread, and obviously got a bit of a backlash with that, not least because one Medway man tried to stop, break up a fight in Medway and got ended up in hospital as a result. And I think the bottom line now is you wouldn't get involved, although there'll always be someone who is clever enough, hard enough and skillful enough to break up a fight. Then Jimmy recalled that in 1955 in Plymouth he tried to break up a fight between a man and a woman, only to find the woman and the man then both turned upon him, and he scuttled away even though he was in uniform. And something I've heard many times, that police officers go in to break up a domestic dispute only to find the wife then suddenly turns on the policeman to sort of defend the guy who was otherwise beating the living daylights out of her. We live in a funny world, don't we? What else was here? Oh yes, no, there wasn't a lot much more that happened then. So just a couple of snippets there, Jack Straw and the continuing story of camels. Don't know if they'll appear again in any future days of news from Jimmy. But otherwise, that was what was happening on the 19th of February, 1999. I missed the 2nd of February. I should have mentioned Groundhog Day, one of my all-time favourite films, but now we'll have to wait until next year. Anyway, that was the sort of news on February the 19th. See you again tomorrow for the 20th. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Good afternoon, good evening, and goodbye. Mind how you go, as they say.